Hey everyone, we are on day 18 for tapping for fear of recovery from fear. Geez, if I could remember the name, that would help. So today we're going to tap on, we're day 18. So I wanted to tap on, this was a really good one, Karen, resistance to tapping. And sorry, I've got this propped up so it might jiggle. And also, we're by the pool. I'm in the room on the deck because the cell service is not great. And they're, hey Tana, how are you? So you might hear children in the pool, but they're frolicking around, but I'm on the balcony. So anyway, oh my God, I have so much to say about this one, and I'll try not to over chat here. So this is where a thing called, two things, like psychological reversal can come in, or secondary gain. So let's go with secondary gain. So when hey Tana. Tana. Oh my God. Thank you, Tana. Okay, Tana, Donna. Thank you. I'm so happy to say it right now. Hey, Carrie. So Tana. I'll do my best to remember, but thank you for spelling that out that way. Appreciate it. Okay, so secondary gain is, why would we resist tapping? We know, hiya, Carrie. We know it makes us feel better, but why would we resist it? So this goes back to the thing that I said, I think it was yesterday, but I say it a lot. So is, if in the mind, say in the mind of our childlike mind, let's call it that, this younger version of ourselves, if it doesn't feel safe to, quote, get better, if it's too scary, and it doesn't mean like I'm afraid to get better, because it's just the way that we put it. It's really not a fear of getting better. It's a fear of some consequence of feeling better. And often what I say, this is why we would resist tapping, is I often link this to when in our lives we've had a peak emotional high. We've been like, life's been great and things were good, and this starts out in childhood. And then all of a sudden the rug got pulled out of us in that moment of that, that links in the brain to it is dangerous to feel good. It's dangerous to have things working out for us. Like if, say, your life's been sailing along, and I'm talking, this can be so early in life, you might not have a conscious memory of it, but that gets linked in the brain. But what happens is, and Karen, thank you for writing so much about this, what we do is we beat the shit out of ourselves for it, because that's what we were trained to do, is, we learn to treat ourselves the way we were treated. So it's like, there's no compassion, there's no hey baby, it's going to be okay, you'll figure it out, it's going to be fine. It's like, you better man up, or put your big girl pants on. I personally, and I'm not going to freaking tap on it, I don't like the term put your big girl pants on. I don't even like the Nike slogan, just do it. Because you would just do it if you could. I actually know the person that came up with the Nike slogan, and I let her know. I was like, I don't really like that. It's that pushing energy, just push through it. I think of the old John Wayne movies, crying doesn't get it done, or trying doesn't get it done. I'm like, no, actually trying does get it done. And sometimes you just keep falling off the wagon till you learn to get back. So hopefully this just helps to know, especially for you, Karen, too, that if in your mind you're not tapping, you have a really good internal reason for not doing it. And the first key is to start to be aware of that. And when you're aware of it, it can help to start to release some of the judgment about it. Like, I don't tap. If you think, this is why I go back to yesterday, if you think about tapping, well, it'd be good if I tapped on this, but I'm not gonna. Make that a win, that you're even I know it would be good for me to do this, but I'm not doing it. That is so important, to find those incremental, tiny little fractions of a win, because that's how we'll start to ease out of it. So that's what Nuff said. Let's just dive in and tap. Karate chop. Even though I'm totally judging myself, I'm totally judging myself for not tapping. And I'm totally right to judge myself. I know it would make me feel better. Yet, I don't do it. I choose to acknowledge I'm judging myself. Even though I know I should tap. But there's that word. That awful freaking word. Should. That's judgment. I know I should do this. I choose to accept my feelings now as best as I can. Even though I know it would help me to tap. But I just can't seem to get myself to do it. And certainly not consistently. And I'm totally judging myself for this. And I'm totally making myself wrong for this. What a shocker. Making myself wrong. Because that's what was done to me so many times. I choose to acknowledge my feelings now. All of this judgment, all of the shoulds, the have-tos, all these sneaky ass little ways that I learned to judge the hell out of myself. It's so frequent and so sneaky that it's often hard to catch. I have gotten in a chronic pattern of judging myself about anything and everything. Oh my God, and here it comes right now. I'm judging myself for this. So now I'm judging myself for judging myself. Holy shit, is there no end to this judgment? What if it's not about stopping the judgment? What if it's about first noticing it? Because here's the thing. I cannot stop thoughts. I can't stop them. Especially habitual thoughts. But I can notice them. And I can interrupt them. But sometimes I can't even do that. Because there's biology going on in my body. I got programmed to think this way so long ago. It's so natural to me to go here. And what if right now, all I have to do is know this? I've been programmed to think this way. I have literally been programmed to think this way. And if I could do this differently, I really would. About that, but all the shoulds and have-tos that I got programmed to say to myself too, don't get me to tap. So what if, oh my God, What if I can make it okay to not tap? What? Are you crazy? But really, what if I can do that? Let me edit that. Learn to do that. Learn to make it okay not to tap. I know I want to. And what if by letting myself off the hook, eventually I'll start to tap when I'm ready? And what if I can just give myself credit right now for even writing out what I'm aware of? Because that is freaking huge. Right, noticing my resistance, which I am, that's huge. And just start there. Just give myself credit, just that much, if I can, for my awareness alone. Because that is huge. And if I start to look for these tiny little things, to give myself credit for, what if before I know it, I'm feeling better, and then a little bit better, and a little bit better, and a little bit better. And that's a start. And I can make that a win over time. Take a breath. So, to me, these are the things. So, Tana, Carrie, Karen, who wrote this out, and Karen, for you, what you wrote out, my God, like what amazing self-awareness that you had writing that out. That's huge. Like, that's huge. Howdy from Los Angeles. Oh, you're in LA. I'm in Newport Beach, not all that far from you. So we're heading back down to Oceanside tomorrow, Tana, and then heading starting to work our way back home on Friday. So howdy. So just like those little things, like writing out that with such self-awareness, Karen, that's huge. Like, do you know how many people on the planet would never even have that awareness about themselves? The percentage is a lot higher of people who wouldn't. So just learning to find those tiny little ways that you're like, well, I know I want to do this, but I'm not ready. And it always goes back to this secondary gain thing. There is a reason right now that's about protecting you that you're like, I just can't tap. Like, I'm not doing it that much. And it's always, to me, it's a younger version of ourselves. And if you think about it that way, and just right now, maybe what you just got to do is keep reminding yourself, like, oh my God, my little kid's scared. My little kid is scared to improve in this way. And again, I have to catch myself here too, because I say this stuff too. It's not that the child part of you is afraid to improve. It's that there's fear of some consequence in the improvement. And there's fear of some consequence to getting better. So that's actually what I will tap on tomorrow. I'm just going to make sure I make a note of that, is fear of the consequence of what if I do get better. It goes back to this how good can I stand it thing. And I've told the Michael Vick story over and over again. He had this $180 million NFL contract, and then he went to jail, and he lost that contract over $55,000 gain in dogfighting. And I'm an animal rights person, but then when he went to jail, he got a coach, and he started turning his life around. And he goes around now and he speaks to kids about that. he had to sabotage himself because he was still a kid in the hood. He just didn't have the context for what was coming at him, the goodness that was coming at him. And it's a real thing. Like, how good can you stand it? I believe it's Gay Hendricks calls it our upper limit. We all have them. You have it in your money, you have it in relationships, like how you allow people to treat you. But what happens is the judgment comes in, like, why am I still in this relationship and why am I doing that? That's the judgment that got rained down on us. I have a freaking PhD in it. It's astonishing to me when I really continue to pay attention. I'm like, holy shit, it's amazing where my brain goes. So anyway, so I'll make sure that I do that tomorrow about like the fear, how good can you stand it, that kind of thing. So there's always some sort of fear that's going there. So anyway, thank you so much, Carrie and Tana, for being here. I'm getting good. I'm getting better at it. And thanks for correcting me. I totally appreciate it. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 19. All right, ladies, bye for now.